Hey, welcome to the Actor's Career Compass, where we give actionable, bite-sized tips to help you navigate the challenges that you'll face throughout your acting career. I'm your host, Martin Benson, and today we're going to be talking about why you might be struggling to get auditions. I get this question a lot from actors. It's just you respond to casting calls and you find that you're getting one or even less auditions per month. Why? And how do you go about fixing this? Well, that's what we'll be talking about. Acting is extremely competitive. So the first thing is you need to be aware of what you should be getting, what's realistic, so that you know whether you're on the right track or not, okay? So what is realistic? Well, ideally you should be aiming to get at least 1 to 2 auditions, not per month, but per week. And these auditions should be for speaking roles, not background work, okay? If you're getting around that amount or more than that, great work. You are getting enough auditions, so you probably don't need that many more right now. But if you're not, if you're like I discussed earlier, where it's like one audition a month or one audition every 3 months, then I think that this podcast episode is definitely going to be helpful. All right, so here are some of the big possible reasons that you might not be getting enough auditions. First, you're not submitting enough. So it's a numbers game. If you're not submitting yourself often enough to be considered for auditions, then of course you're always going to struggle to get auditions. You should be aiming to submit yourself to at least 5 to 10 casting calls every single week, or the maximum amount that you can if you're based in an area that has very few castings. So in general, if you're submitting, let's say, to 5 to 10 a week, and the goal is to get 1 to 2, that's 1 out of every 5 auditions that you submit to, or at bare minimum 1 out of every 10 should turn into an audition, or in other words, an invitation to submit a self-tape, where you basically film yourself recording an audition for something, okay? If you're getting less than 1 out of 10 submissions turning into an audition, then that's a problem. Obviously, increasing the number of submissions that you do can help, but there's only so many projects out there that are casting, so it makes more sense to move on to some of the other things that we're going to be talking about, which can actually improve that number, that percentage. All right. So the next thing is your headshot. Now, if you're using an unprofessional photo, meaning a photo that wasn't really taken by an actual dedicated headshot photographer who knows how to shoot actor headshots, then that could be causing casting directors or independent filmmakers, if they don't have an actual casting director yet, it could cause them to think that you don't take your career seriously, which is obviously not a good thing. If they look at your photo and think that you're brand new or you're not ready to invest in your career by paying for a pro headshot, then maybe they don't want to bring you into an audition because they're getting submissions for plenty of other actors who actually do have high-end headshots. Now, as an aside, if you do need a professional headshot and you're based in New York City or New Jersey, I highly recommend checking out my company, which is cityheadshots.com. That's CITY headshots with an S.com. And we have a number of packages that you can select from, and we work with actors and specialize in actor headshots, so we can definitely help you out. You'll get your images very quickly. We do same-day turnarounds. You do your shoot, and you actually get all of your high-resolution photos same day sent to you. Plus, we also include retouching with our packages. All right, next thing, your resume, okay? So now, technically, you don't need credits to get acting work, especially at the very beginning, but it can help. Now, you should ideally aim to have at least 1 to 2 speaking credits on your resume if you're trying to get paid acting work. Okay? Otherwise, you should just focus on applying to unpaid stuff first, like student films. You do a few unpaid projects, you book those speaking roles, and then it becomes significantly easier to start getting some paid acting work because they are generally looking for actors who have at least some experience on set. Next thing, your demo reel. Now, you don't need an actual professional demo reel, but you do need at least one clip that shows your acting ability. You need to really be on point in it, meaning your performance, you just, when you watch the clip, you want to feel something. It's not like you watch it just to get a sense of what you look and sound like on camera. You're watching it, or casting directors are watching it to actually get a sense of whether you're really good at acting, meaning can you make them feel something as an emotional experience to watch you perform. Now, besides being, having your acting technique completely on point, we obviously need to hear and see you clearly. So that just means decent quality lighting, and you want the environment that you're recording in to be very quiet and not echoey. So, throw some blankets on the floor if you need to, so that it kind of deadens the sound. Now, you can shoot something yourself with your smartphone. That's not a problem in general. Again, it can just be a simple flat backdrop behind you and like a monologue, some sort of clip that really shows your ability to perform. And the reason I say this, and this is so important, is just because in general, on most casting websites, when you're submitting yourself, if you do not have any clips, your submission is going to be pushed down towards the bottom, and many casting directors won't even see your submission. But if you do have a clip attached to it, it moves towards the top, and they're just much more likely to watch you actually perform, and then if they like what they see, they're going to invite you to the audition. Let me tell you briefly about our reel production services for actors. So we have 2 locations in Manhattan and Northern New Jersey, and we actually custom write scripts. We can actually help cast the actors as well, and we'll shoot and edit professional high-end footage that will help make your reel or clips that you're using extremely impressive for agents and casting directors. You can visit actorscreenershoot.com, which is actor screener, SCREENER, shoot.com, and you'll be able to see our packages and schedule a free consultation there. Now, next thing that could be a reason why you're not seeing auditions is you're not clear on type. Now, you should ideally look similar to the kinds of roles that you're submitting to, because if you look significantly different than what they're expecting, like let's say you're submitting for a detective role or something, right? And you are only 17 years old. Well, chances are they're going to see that you look too young for the part, and they're not going to want to bring you in, right? So you need to be clear on the types of characters that you can realistically play if you want to be actually taken seriously and have your submission start turning into audition invitations. So I recommend either submitting for the kinds of roles that you look more similar to, or you can change your own look or the clothing that you're wearing in some of your photos, or do like, a recorded monologue or something where you're wearing something different, in order to look more similar to the kinds of characters that you want or the kinds of roles that you're submitting to. Okay, so you can either submit to different types of roles, or you could change your look to look more similar to what you want to submit to. Now, another reason is because maybe you're not including any submissions notes. Now, I highly recommend including a custom written submissions note for every single role that you submit for. I say this is good to do for every possible audition, but I understand that it can be a little bit time consuming. So you should definitely always do it for roles that you really want. ones that you feel would be really exciting to play or that pay a good amount. Now, the reason that I say to include this, a lot of actors think that casting directors are too busy to read these. But the fact is, if you're looking to get these auditions for independent productions, they usually don't have casting directors. It's usually the filmmaker or the writer themselves who's actually reading your submissions note. And those types of people actually do read what you write because it's their project, they're excited about it, all of that. So I do recommend including a custom submissions note. That can make a really good difference in how many auditions you're getting. So in general, by improving the things that I've outlined, you should definitely start to see your audition numbers go up. If you want to crank that dial way up and start getting a lot of new auditions, then I'd like to tell you briefly about my mini course called Kickstart Your Acting Career. This is a 5-day course. It basically dives really, really deep on how to start getting consistent auditions if you don't have an agent, credits, or reel yet. Getting consistent auditions for legitimate products or productions is critical if you want to start building your resume and you want to have a shot at getting an agent. So you can visit Kickstart Mini Course. Again, that's kickstartminicourse.com for more information and to sign up. In that course, I go really deep on the things that we talked about in this podcast episode. I also include some templates for cover letters and really, really specific things, including a few awesome techniques on how to get good quality headshots and even footage onto your acting profiles without spending any money at all. So there's some really, really great stuff in that course. But yeah, that is pretty much it for today's episode. And all I have really is one ask of you. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the show so that you don't miss future episodes. By subscribing, it actually also helps me because it makes these episodes a bit more easily findable for other actors as well. Okay? So thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.